All right, now to finish up, I've got all the details. Now there's just certain areas I want to make look better. And so what I'm going to do, just like when we finished up our creature design, I'm going to create a brand new layer on top of everything. I'm going to mark it next to the eyeball with a right click with red, and I'm going to label it a clone stamp layer. And I'm going to use the clone stamp, very soft in this instance because it's a cloud. So a soft brush, large, at an opacity that's maybe about 60%. And I'm going to sample from, let's say, all layers. So I have to be careful because it's going to sample the blue sky as well. But I'm going to use this between images. And remember, it floats on top of everything. So I'm going to take this clone stamp pretty large, and where I need some of cloud texture to be more consistent, like right at this break here, I steal it from somewhere, and then I paint it in. Steal it from somewhere, I paint it in. You don't want to overdo it, but it's incredibly helpful. Steal it from somewhere, paint it in at that low opacity. And hopefully you won't need it too many places, but wherever you do need it, it's going to do you a lot of favors. But remember, you have to move your target with where you're wanting to paint, right? Because it's all on one layer on its own, I can turn it off and on, see if it helps. And yes, that helps all of that. It is not how I'm going to soften anything, it's just how I bring things together on the inside. If I want to bring a little bit more texture here, I can do that at a very low opacity. Bring a little bit more highlight, I can do that. So that's the way I finish off. If that looks too boring and gray, I'm sampling from every layer here. I can just knock it back a little bit. Okay, so now, once I'm happy, actually thinking I want to take back some of this. I'm never happy, but if I were happy, the last thing you can do is play with your sky layer. Remember, that's the only thing we actually created for ourselves. We just painted it in. And this is the way I like to play with it. I just go to image adjustments, and I'm going to play with the color balance. And I can say, oh, let's try deepening the blue a little bit. Oh yeah, that's kind of nice. Let's try limiting that cyan a little bit. Oh yeah, that helps. Because you want a believable sky with your clouds. You don't want them to clash. And each choice matters, right? Okay, so if I like that, let's see if that's an improvement from that to that. And it does help. It kind of brings out the shadows that are in the clouds already. It all comes together a little bit better. Then I might go back up to clone stamp one last time if there are little areas that look too sharp still. It's a perfect, easy way just to soften them up a little bit. Okay. So we save it. There's just one thing you need to submit. You save it as a JPEG, but first, of course, save it as a Photoshop file for yourself, assignment 4. And we're going to upload that JPEG into the right assignment folder within PhotoBucket, and we will critique them at the beginning of next class Today is the critique deadline in your course outline, so make sure you have something in the right folder. The assignment 4, Digital 1, Cloud Creature folder by midnight tonight, and you want to label it with your name. Almost done here. Big PSD file. The JPEG is going to make it a lot smaller. So you're going to put yours right into here. I am going to upload mine into my instructor demonstrations. And it's your choice whether you want to include your creature in there or not. I like to do it because as a portfolio piece, it shows what your intention was. But it's up to you. All right, now in order to be able to upload it to PhotoBucket, after you've saved it as a PSD file, we'll save it as a JPEG, and then you are going to set your quality so that the preview shows that it is fewer than 5 megapixels. So I'm going to go with 11. JPEGs really reduce things a lot more than PNG does, though they're both acceptable online formats. Okay, and once you've done that, you'll see your JPEG up on the desktop. I'm going to mark that orange, a PSD. I'm going to mark that green. Before I put everything into my folder, I'm going to close this out and make sure I upload it to the right place and title it with my name. So far, only JPEGs and PNGs have been the online file formats that we've used. A JPEG fills in the whole rectangle, a PNG cuts it out. And then that's all there is to it.